and welcome back to another episode here on the channel, here with Madden 22 and the Cleveland Browns franchise, as we're back here with Dawg Pound TV. And today we are going to be talking about a lot of things. One of them is, of course, the regular season ended in the last episode, and we are officially undefeated here in the regular season. Now the question is, from many, can we make this push into the playoffs here with the same momentum that we had in the regular season and try to bring home a first ever Lombardi trophy for this organization? We'll see if they can do that here in the next couple of episodes. But today we're going to be talking about the wild card and, of course, look at some season stats, and, of course, just give you guys an idea of my thought process of the series so far, and, of course, getting ready for the postseason. So we'll look into some stats here in just a bit, but for the most part here, this season's been great. I think the slaughter set's there's been some really good challenging games. I'm not going to change the slaughter set whatsoever. I probably will be taking down the slaughter set both in the user and the one slight change I make in the slaughter set is probably the interceptions for user and for the CPU. They're at 40, and I think I might move them down to a 30 or 25, just to make it more tougher for both the user and for the CPU to snag interceptions. Now, as for the future of this series, well, we are going to have to wrap up the series here once, depending on how this ends, because of Madden 23 is coming out. But I will tell you now that the series will continue, but it will be in a live stream form here on the channel, and it'll occasionally pop up time to time as I'm still enjoying this game. And of course, it'll be heavily focused on, once Madden 23 comes out, or at least by now Madden 23 should have been out. So the new series, obviously, if you guys have been paying attention, has been released. I made a teaser about it, and that series should be underway as well. But I don't want to forget about these Browns, because like I said, I found a really good slaughter set here. I've been working on it for quite some time now. And of course, I did put the series off because I was in the mood to play Madden this year in this game. And it wasn't because of the team. It was a little bit of the slaughter set, but it was also I was just kind of working on other content for this second channel and just getting involved in other games as well. And found some games on the computer, my computer here as of late, so I just kind of got away from this series. But I will do my best not to do that. Right, actually, I've already got a couple episodes already for the new series already for you guys. Those should be up here if it's not already. But I am getting into the new game, Madden 23, more so this year than I have been, since I think the Steelers series we were really getting into. I think we had 3 or 4 seasons of that, so. And we'll be moving along a lot more quicker in that series, because I already have some ideas how we're going to do that. And of course, if you've been paying attention to the channel, you would see that there's a video about that and how we're going to do that next series in Madden 23. But as you take a look here, we're looking at the standings, obviously, and of course that trade that we made with Atlanta, yeah, it's looking very good right now, because you see Atlanta is currently 3-14. They ended the season, and I'm very happy with the way that had played out there. So that means we get a nice draft pick early with their the draft pick they have, I believe, in the 2nd or 3rd round. But take a look here as we see the Steelers there, of course, in last place in our division. Titans obviously took the AFC South with a 13-4 record. There's a good chance we could be seeing them in the playoffs. Either them or the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, because those are the top. Besides us, they're the other favorites in that, and of course the Chiefs as well are going to be also in the playoffs. As you see there, they took the AFC West with an 11-6 record. Pretty much took over that division. Bears, surprisingly enough, took the division as the Packers. Remember, a couple of episodes ago, we had to play against the Packers, and the Packers had to win those next 2 or 3 games there, and of course, they did not do so there. They won the last game of the season, but they didn't win the game against us, and they go for 7-10 to finish the season. Of course, the heavy favorites in the NFC, you see the Buccaneers. They're 14-3, and they are on a 3-game winning streak right now, and of course, they are the top seed over the NFC. Obviously, Tom Brady and company trying to return back to the promised land and try to win another championship before he or maybe not retires. And then of course the other team there, the football team there in Washington, obviously last place there in the NFC East. In the NFC West, so you see the Seahawks take that with a 12-3 record. They on a 12-5 record with a 2-game winning streak there for them. But as for the Rams, not the Rams that we've seen in real life when this game about 1 year ago when this game started. Of course, they in real life they went ahead and won the Super Bowl, but this one they're not going to go nowhere near it this year, as they will not be playing on their home turf. As for Baker Mayfield this season, 4,514 yards there. He had the most touchdowns and also the most interceptions this season. Nick Chubb, 2,015 yards. He had the most rushing touchdowns of the season, and that should honestly give him the chance to win the MVP of the league, and as well as the AFC's best running back, as he was just a monster. He missed 4 games, you guys, 4 games this season, and then came back after those 4 games and had 2 games. Actually, all of his remaining games were 100-yard or more in a game. That tells you right there he was just he had that little growing pool. He was out for those 4 weeks or those 3 weeks actually. And after those 3 weeks, he's like, "Oh hell no! I gotta get back to. I gotta continue doing the run I've been on." And that's exactly what he did. It was awesome. It sucked that we didn't have him on the field, but at the same time, Feldon and of course Janovich and also Hunt did a great job filling those roles there for him. But he came back strong and took over. Just took over the rushing record, or the rushing title by storm there this year, and we'll see the awards here a little bit later on. As for OBJ and of course Landry, both 1,000-yard receivers. There you see OBJ most touchdowns for us, receiving touchdowns for us for the season with 17, and of course Landry had 13 for the season. Higgins had 5, he had 680, and then Hooper had 644. Hooper had 7 touchdowns, and Higgins had 5. And Peoples-Jones, he's starting to heat up. He's starting to become that player that we're looking for next season, because we're not going to bring back OBJ, but Peoples is going to be one of those guys that I think I'm really excited for next season, and see what he can do when he has more of that playing time there on the field. But you see 17 catches, only 340 yards, but he had 4 touchdowns this season. But he definitely, here in these last, 3 or 4 games, he's been just showing up here and just doing a great job for us in the receiving game. And of course, David Njoku there as well. Only 103 yards this season, but he had several drops. But at the same time, he's been pretty impressive as well. And of course, Bryant there had a nice game last episode as he had his first touchdown catch of the season. We're hoping to have Njoku and Bryant involved in more. As I am, of course, when we go into season 2, we are going to be, changing the playbook some on offense, because I'm kind of liking the tight end sets that they have, kind of a Belichick type of thing, and so we will kind of use not necessarily Belichick's playbook, but kind of some formations that are similar to that. So there's some tight end sets there that can, because I love just throwing the tight ends and just getting them involved in the game. And if you guys watch my Hot and Scotty series, that's how it is over there. As we take a look at defense, oh my God, Oswald Kamari has been just a monster there this season. Of course, he is a rookie, and he has just been tearing it up with 115, not 115. I forgot how many tackles he had, but he had the most tackles for us this season. Of course, Ward as well as Delpit, and several others there playing very well. Of course, Garrett as usual having a good season. Not the monster season that we were accustomed to, but he's there. He's definitely making a presence there a lot of times on the field. 160 tackles, and if you see also Kamari's record, or his numbers there between solo and assists, they're dead even with 80 apiece. So he is just a big piece, I think, going on here the next couple of seasons here with the Browns, that we can definitely build around him and make that defense even stronger. Of course, next season I think we're probably going to be focusing on a little bit more on the offensive side of things, but but I think next year, I mean, I might have to forget it. Well, I think I have it set up for the more draft-wise, defensive-wise. But yeah, I mean, we can really build something around him and Ward and so many other young guys we have on this squad, because we got a lot of young defensive guys that are very hungry to play, and I cannot wait to see how we do in this postseason. And of course, you know, depending on how well we do in the postseason, if we can get to the Super Bowl, that'd be awesome. And then look out, season 2, we are back. We're gonna go and we're gonna rip off some heads off a lot of teams. Take a look at your sack leaders for us as well, and then of course interceptions here, which has been a big, I mean, one, because the sliders are kind of high for both because there's I looked at the other teams' numbers for interceptions and they're just as high there. But you see Delpit and Ward just a monsters there with 7 apiece. There's a couple others in the league right now that have more than that, and that's why I kind of want to slide down, you know, the interceptions sliders some, because even on Madden 23, there's been a lot of talk, and I've noticed it quite a bit. I've played, you know, the 10 hours both on my PS5 and also on the PS4, and I noticed that the interceptions are ridiculous. So both in this series and in that, of course, the series that we have in 23, we are definitely going to be moving that slider set when it comes to interceptions. I do not want to have a pick palooza happening in that game, because the defenses read the ball too well. I don't want to mess with the pass coverage because I feel like it's right where it needs to be. But I mean, we could I don't know, bump it down just a little bit for pass protection or pass coverage there. But most part, I think we're just move the slider set for the interception. So I think if I think about it, I might have to try to make a video about my slider set sometime. I'll probably try to drop something on the Discord there. You guys can look at the video there of the slider set that we're using for both for this series and of course over on the Madden 25 or Madden 23 game, which we'll be playing on the PS5. So I believe, if you guys don't know, it's the Bills series. We're running as the Bills in the next one. With the Bills series, I've got several episodes already going for you guys. They should be up here soon, because I don't know exactly this. I know this one will be out after the Bills announcement's made. That's who the series is gonna be. So if you guys don't know already, that's pretty much what it is. But take a look here. Just look at some numbers here overall in the NFL. There you see just some of the top quarterbacks there that normally we see on a normal basis there. Henry as well. There you see obviously 1,745 yards. But Nick Chubb is your rushing leader this year. McCaffrey there for a while there was up at the top spot there for the MVP there for the whole league. But ever since Nick Chubb, like I said, came back, he's pretty much taken over that mantle and decided to take it for himself. There you see rushing touchdowns this season. And of course there you see as well rushing fumbles, the most there from the two quarterbacks, us with Mayfield, and of course Kyle Murray there for the Cardinals, as well as Mike Evans, your top receiver in yardage this season. But Odell Beckham Jr., your wide receiver, most touchdowns, receiving touchdowns this season with 17. And of course you got the usual suspects there in the top 10 or so there in receiving touchdowns. There you see the blocking numbers there for sacks allowed, and of course most games played, all that kind of stuff there. You guys can obviously pause the video there and check those out. But yeah, for the most part here, that's been pretty much the only thing that's kind of been bugging me is the interceptions. Because I know Baker does throw quite a few interceptions here, but I was looking at other numbers from other QBs and stuff like that. I'm thinking like, oh my god, and just in same way in the Madden 23 game, it's just like, wow, interceptions is just a big problem. And so yeah, we're definitely that's probably the only thing I would say. For the most part here, the games, with the sliders I do have, they've been fun. And they've been, I mean, been challenging. Got me ramped up, fired up, ready to, want to throw a controller out the window. But, at the same time, they've been fun. They've been, been fun to play as and stuff like that. And I'm only, it's only gonna get worse because we're in the playoff. We're in the postseason here. We got a bye week, obviously here in this wild card round. So whoever we play next, either it's I believe it'll be, I think it's out of that. It's gonna be either Kansas City or the well, it's better whatever the lowest or the highest seed is. The highest seed will obviously we're the highest seed. We're the number 1 seed, but I forgot how that goes. Like the lowest seed goes to the other team, and the higher seed goes to us, or whatever the case may be. I can't remember exactly who's been playing, but you got Kansas City, you got Baltimore, and of course you got the Tennessee Titans, who are all good teams. I mean, all the teams that are in the playoffs right now are good teams, but the ones that a lot of the experts are talking about here this season, those are the 3 I'm kind of concerned about and wondering. Of course, obviously, if you guys don't know, I live near the Kansas City area, so there's a good chance that we could be facing Kansas City. Because that's just how the computer wants to troll me. So, and of course, obviously, it's also about seeding also as well. So, we'll see who we play here in just a bit. But you see Harrison, his numbers this season defensively. Of course, look at some more numbers across the league. Of course, kicking there. Kicking, I don't want to talk about kicking. I don't know why I'm so bad at the kicking this season in this damn game. I don't know if I'm going to tweak those sliders or whatever, but kicking, I don't know, I'm off. My timing's off, or whatever the case may be when it comes to reading the meter or whatever the case may be. Of course, I've been blaming the kicker itself, but for the most part, it's been because of me, just bad timing on trying to the accuracy wise. So for the last time I checked, I did not mess with the kicking meter, with the exception of the kicking power for kickoffs. I have it at 55, so you could actually kick the ball deep and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part here, I don't know what the hell is up with the kicking meter. It's like, I don't know. I'm not reading it very well, I guess. I don't know, but nonetheless, as we take a look here at the punting numbers, obviously, you guys, if you're into punting, there you see those numbers. So on and so forth. Next season, or at least in the next game here in 23, I'm going to be posting the stat numbers. So if you guys want to see the stat numbers more closely, I will have videos of that on the Discord. So if you want to see the season numbers and stuff like that, you guys can obviously check that. Go over to our Discord. There's a link down below in the description. That's just a way you guys can see more in-depth videos. I can drop stuff over there. I can put it up privately here on YouTube and then let you guys, or have it as a unlisted video. But then you guys can check it out and see the the videos and see those stuff like that, and stats wise. I don't know if I'll commentate over it or not, but for the most part here, just where you guys can see the stats for the teams and where they're at, so you guys can get a good idea. That also helps out. I can get rid of some of this stuff here in these videos here, just kind of focusing on us, whatever team I'm using at the time. But there you see, look at the MVP. There you see Nick Chubb, your MVP of the season here in the 2021-2022 season. You see our coach, obviously the coach of the year, so congratulations to him, as he's done a great job here with the Browns. And of course, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh man, the Browns are undefeated, that's unrealistic. I don't care. It's been fun. For the most part, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, the sliders have been, I've not touched the sliders at all. I mean, they're competitive sliders. Obviously, if you've seen the games against the Bengals, or not the Bengals, let's see, the 2 Ravens games, and who else did we play that was pretty close? There was a couple games earlier in the season that was really close. There was at least 3 or 4 games that were really close this season. But for the most part here, I mean, a lot of them, there was some games where I was down by, I think there was one game I was down by 21, and I came back and kicked ass and, won by, 2 possessions. So, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the team, I guess, and not to mention this team, I feel like I've connected with this team. There's a connection with this team. I feel like it's been fun. And that's why I've been enjoying playing this and seeing what these 2 teams can do here on the field for the most part. So take a look here. It's in the NFC awards there. Christian McCaffrey winning the running back. J.J. Watt won the offensive player of the year there. Justin Fields defensive player or defensive rookie of the year. Wilson there you see best QB. Kamari best running back for the NFC. Wide receiver there, Allen Robinson the second. And then you see offensive lineman, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's just been fun. It's been fun, and like I said, once we get into the second season, and we're gonna try to play a stream series here on YouTube from time to time, and it won't happen till I don't know. I can't remember the date. I do have a date set, but it'll be up on the channel, and we'll play a couple games each stream. Trying to get at least to the second season, and you guys can see me play in on stream and all that kind of stuff. So hear me yell and scream and cuss and all that kind of fun stuff. Take a look here at the playoff bracket here. You see number 2 seed there, Tennessee is number 2. Number 3, New England. They'll be facing off against Miami. Buffalo, of course, had to go to Tennessee, to Nashville, and then, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs will host the Baltimore Ravens in that 4-5 seed game. On the NFC side, of course, the Buccaneers are you get the first round bye, just like we do. The second seed there in the NFC is going to be hosting the 7th seed. It's 49ers, so that's a nice NFC West game. And then, of course, the Cowboys will be hosting the number 6 seed Cardinals, and number 4 seed taking on number 5 seed. The Bears taking on the Saints there in that one there in that particular game as well. I'm going to say the Cardinals are going to be the team that's going to be that dark horse. I was looking at some of their numbers there, some of the games there. They've been having some pretty good games, and they could be definitely one of those teams that could probably definitely kind of play spoiler with the Buccaneers. And of course for us, like I said, the Chiefs, the Chiefs, obviously the Baltimore Ravens, and of course Tennessee. The team those are the 3 teams I'm looking at that could be teams that could give us some headaches there in these next, depending on where we're at in the round. So this first divisional game or the AFC game, especially the AFC game, I really feel like it's going to be a Baltimore-Cleveland AFC championship game. I really do. I don't want that to be the case. But as we take a look here, you've seen the scores there. Or we're about to see the scores here. Tennessee wins it 35-28. They'll move on. They'll host New England, who beat the Miami Dolphins 20-24. Kansas City will head to Cleveland. Ooh, a nice little rematch. As we'll see that a rematch from Week 1. That's going to be nice to see. 35-28. Kansas City won that game. And then the NFC side, you have 29-14. Seahawks win that game. As for the Cowboys, they win their game 35-31 against Cardinals. So my dark horse is out. Damn it. As for the Saints, they defeat the Bears 26-21. So the Saints will be taking on their divisional rival, the Buccaneers, and the Seahawks and Cowboys. Ooh, that's a nice one. See, a 2 taking on a 3, and then a 1 taking on a 5. So, maybe I should have picked the Saints there. But the top 4 seeds in the AFC all advanced to obviously the divisional round. So that's going to be really fun to see. But yeah, we take on the Chiefs. So yeah, like I said, the computer is going to be be an ass and pick the team that I hate the most. My hometown team. Yeah. Okay. Well, that is pretty much the look at the playoff bracket here, and of course we're going to be in the game. I believe our first, the first time we played, obviously we played against him early in the season. We did a pretty good job against Mahomes. He did throw over 200 yards in the game, over 250 yards actually. 285 yards he threw. He had 1 touchdown, but we did get a hold of him 3 times. He was 29 of 41 in that game. And our guys just did a great job. Baker Mayfield, 236 yards. He was 16 of 24, 3 touchdowns, and of course 1 interception in that game. So I mean, it was a blowout. It was a blowout game there. Our guys just did a great job. Of course, obviously running wise, we did a monster job with Nick Chubb in that game, and we're gonna try to see what we can try to do the same thing again. As you see there, Nick Chubb, 27 carries, 144 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns in that game. He had 5 broken tackles in that game as well. Hunt had a great return back to Kansas City, almost had 100 yards there in that game. He had 11 carries for 94 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns from him. And of course, take a look at some of the Kansas City numbers there as well. Mahomes and of course Hill were kind of neutralized. I mean, there were some shades of them doing their normal thing. Obviously, Tyreek Hill, he had 8 catches, 102 yards, but those yardage was kind of short because his only longest catch was 19. He didn't have no big time throw down the field. So we did a great job there of kind of neutralizing him and not letting him throw deep. And so that's what we got to try to do again. We got to try to stop Mahomes from throwing down deep and just put our pads on him and just make him think otherwise. So that was pretty much the game plan that time around. I think that we'll keep the same game plan that we had before from the first time we met with the Chiefs there back in week 1. And like I said, it was a blowout game. Tyrann Mathieu there, the Honey Badger, of course, got that interception. But overall, the Chiefs did not score. I don't think they scored a touchdown in this game at all. So we did a great job. Can we avoid them from scoring a touchdown this time around? We might have to give up something. But I think for the most part here, I think if we stick with the same game plan that we had before, and especially just let Nick Chubb and especially get Hunt in there. We got to get Hunt in there in that game. Let him run over his former team. This should be definitely a W for us, and definitely a great way to show what that last game, that first time we played against you, that was not a fluke. That we are the team that we said we are the first time around. Now they have to play us again at home. I believe there is a scenario here, I think, if I'm not mistaken, because I've got most of these games. I've gotten this game played already. I pretty much got the most postseason and some of the offseason already done already. But there's that playoff blizzard scenario. So yeah, we'll see what that's about coming up in the next episode as we take on the 11-6 Kansas City Chiefs, the AFC West champions, I should say. In the next episode. So stay tuned for that game as we will start the playoffs in the divisional round for us, and we'll take on the Kansas City Chiefs in that one. Of course, Travis Kelce, one of the big targets there for Mahomes. And like I said, we can neutralize Mahomes. Hey, Kelce, Hill, y'all ain't gonna have a game. And of course, obviously stop their running game. They got a couple good guys in the backfield there, and of course, also do watch out for Hill because he can also run those jet sweeps and stuff like that out of the backfield there as well. So a lot of things to look at. Of course, there you see some of our goals, and of course, you need to remember our goals. We do not change our goals. Wherever the coach, wherever they wherever they say the goals are for that week is, that's what we try to go after and try to achieve. And I think that's what I'm going to start doing now in our franchises. That's what I think I'm going to start doing out here in Madden in 22 and of course 23 with the Bills. So We'll see what we can do coming up in the next episode. But guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on the channel for the Cleveland Browns as we get to the next episode and we take on those Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional game. But again, thank you for watching Browns TV, or excuse me, Dawg Pound TV here on ESGNet. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want more. As well, check us out on our second channel on ESGNet. ESGNet plus LP, and not to mention follow us on social media as well, as our links are down below, and you guys can follow us that way as well. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time.